Online, there has been a lot of talk about the alt-right pipeline, the idea that young people, mainly men, are radicalized into adopting extremist beliefs. While the alt-right does exist, and some within it do hold toxic views, the label is often stretched to include anyone critical of feminism or modern progressive ideology. Take Jordan Peterson. He has openly criticized the alt-right and has no formal affiliation with it, yet many still brand him part of that pipeline. In this video, I want to discuss something far less examined, the alt-left pipeline. A lot of people now are becoming radicalized into rigid, ideological forms of left-wing thinking that are intellectually limiting and, in most cases, psychologically unhealthy. My name is Zarina Matcha, and you're watching The Rational Female. If you enjoy my content, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. In the UK, traditional left-wing politics grew out of the trade union movement and focused largely on improving conditions for the working class. Many working class men played prominent roles in the early Labour Party. I consider Clement Attlee's post-war government to be one of the most effective. It established the welfare state and created the NHS under Health Secretary Nye Bevan. This has saved millions of lives. But modern progressive politics differs highly from traditional left-leaning thought. It is influenced by academic frameworks like critical theory, social constructionism, and intersectionality. These ideas emerged from various 20th century intellectual traditions, including scholars associated with the Frankfurt School. Concepts like diversity, equity, inclusion, and contemporary gender theory are frequently discussed within this framework. Classical liberalism, rooted in thinkers like John Locke, Adam Smith, and John Stuart Mill, emphasized individual liberty, free inquiry, and property rights. Tension sometimes arises between these individualist traditions and more collectivist political approaches. Personally, I support classical social liberalism alongside traditional British left-leaning economics. The alt-left can be described as a strand of left-wing thought that places strong emphasis on power structures, identity, and systemic inequality. Influential academic figures include Kimberly Crenshaw, Judith Butler, and Angela Davis. YouTube creators that are part of BreadTube, such as ContraPoints and Lindsay Ellis, have produced long-form video essays criticizing capitalism, culture, and social hierarchies. One can often question whether creators who succeed financially while criticizing capitalism are caught in a contradiction. Of course, participating in a capitalist system while critiquing it is not new. Many political theorists have done the same. Still, it raises an interesting philosophical question. Can you fully reject a system you operate within and even benefit from? ContraPoints constantly slams capitalism while benefiting heavily from the very things she claims to despise. I have seen comments in her videos from people who are raised in communist societies telling her she is very lucky to live in a capitalist country. She would not be able to do what she is doing and make money from it if she lived in the kind of country that she advocates for. History has shown us that centrally planned Marxist economies produce authoritarian outcomes. For that reason, many Western nations instead adopted social democracy, which blends a capitalist economy with social safety nets. This model is visible across much of Scandinavia, and the old UK Labour Party used this model. I think this is very sustainable, which is why I don't call myself anti-capitalism. Capitalism does have its flaws and needs regulating, but to abolish it completely is just self-defeating and is often pushed by middle-class leftists who grew up in economic privilege, benefiting from capitalism. I never once hear these alt-leftists advocate for social democracy. They do constantly advocate for the abolishment of capitalism entirely. They are happy to profit while criticizing the system that gave them what they have. Humans are naturally hierarchical. We see this in school with the way students organize themselves into hierarchies. Both men and women form hierarchies. It's how we have evolved. Another debate prevalent among the alt-left are beliefs about sex and gender. Modern progressives now claim that gender is something entirely separate from sex and it is a social construct. This is deeply dangerous, unscientific thinking. Men and women behave differently because of evolution, hormones, and biology. I have no idea why this is so hard for alt-leftists to understand or accept. It's like trying to argue with a religious fundamentalist. Men and women look physically different. We have different brain chemistries. All of the ideas about gender being socially constructed come from academic theorists, not scientists. Neuroscientists and evolutionary biologists cite gender as scientifically determined. This is now dubbed biological determinism. People suffering from gender dysphoria are dealing with a legitimate medical condition. For adults, medical transition can be a personal and informed choice, and I do not oppose that. But the fact that transition involves hormones, surgery, and altering physical sex characteristics reinforces a biological reality. A trans man transitions from female to male. A trans woman transitions from male to female. The direction of transition presupposes that sex is real and materially grounded. If gender were purely a social construct, merely a set of stereotypes or roles, there would be no need to change the body. The medical pathway exists precisely because sex biology exists. Of course, culture shapes how men and women behave, but cultural behaviors are influenced by our biology. Men and women built societies around gender roles. Modern society has allowed for more flexibility in gender roles due to technological advancements like the pill and kitchen appliances, which ironically we can thank capitalism for. Finally, the alt-left, despite all their pushes for progressivism, never condemn illiberal practices in Islamic theocracies. Islam rejects all the theories that the alt-left push for. Muslims believe in an objective reality based on the Quran and claim that Allah created everything, men and women were created differently, and homosexuality is a sin. If you read the Quran, like I have, you will see all the things said about women that the alt-left should dub misogynistic. Yet the alt-left don't condemn this. They promote it as part of inclusivity. If they went to Islamic theocracies, I highly doubt they would be met with the same level of radical acceptance. So how do we prevent young people from drifting towards ideological extremes? The alt-right promotes ideas such as ethno-nationalism and conspiracy thinking. The alt-left promotes unscientific thinking and identity politics. Extremes tend to mirror each other. Unfortunately, the alt-right are condemned, but the alt-left are allowed to speak their mind. Alt-left thinking has seeped its way into academia and popular culture, and people now use pronouns in the workplace and on dating apps. Supporters see this as progress. Critics see it as an attack on free speech. Even Alcoholics Anonymous revised its preamble in 2021, replacing a fellowship of men and women with a fellowship of people to adopt gender-neutral language. This tension highlights a long-standing challenge within liberal societies: how to protect free expression while preventing ideological rigidness from becoming the new orthodoxy. For those wanting to get out of the alt-left pipeline, I can recommend a few books that might bring you back to reality. The End of Gender by Dr. Deborah So, Free Women, Free Men by Camille Paglia, Sex Matters by Mona Charen, and Loving Men, Respecting Women by Tim Goldich. These books take a more balanced look at gender ideology and the harm that feminism has done to the sexes. My novel, Tic-Tac-Toe, is a dystopian novel that depicts an alt-left society. Men are second-class citizens, everyone has to wear pronoun badges, and heterosexual marriage is outlawed. It's like Brave New World for the 21st century. If that interests you, check out the trailer in the cards or the link below.